touching on this visit is a very sentimental and constructive thing for me as a president and as a man who has been nominated for the second term. I hold democracy, consistency, dedication, and steady facts to stabilize the country, the polity,
Two
the
rooms,
economy.
two completely different Nigerians. Today, we are breaking down what was actually said and asking another question. Is the president even hearing the real Nigeria, or is someone filtering it before it reaches him?
Touching on this visit is a very sentimental and constructive thing for me as a president and as a man who has been nominated for the second term. I hold democracy, consistency, dedication, and steady facts to stabilize the country, the polity, the economy. And one of the greatest aspects of it is the economy. The economy is already stabilized. So many of the governors here present, I want to say thank you very much. I want to charge you to do more. I remember I asked passionate plea for some road network in the Northeast, as if we have started the journey and we are writing a new manifesto. But I fulfilled the promise. I could see the leadership of Northeast challenged because of terrorism and banditry. I could see our collaboration, that we work together. Only we stick together, we think together, we face the challenges the best way possible as a united country. The golden age is here now. If you can stabilize the economy. Nigerians are not asking for too much. Simple stability, social welfare. And among the visitors today are some pensioners. I hope you are receiving your pensions if you are afflicted with government. Well, if I can go political, somebody among my prospective opponents, they privatized government investment in public-private entities, but they forget to pay the pension. I'm clearing the pensioners now. So clearing the mess they created. But I won't complain. The integrity and the commitment that you show me all from notice. We have our hands on the plow. We're never going to look back.
Now, welcome back. Hope you've all watched that video. Now, days later, after that visit, Cardinal John Onaiyekan, the Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja, went on Arise TV's prime time and gave his own account of how the meeting actually went. His summary was blunt. The bishops told the president the economy wasn't helping ordinary Nigerians, and the president disagreed, insisting that his administration was performing well. Now watch this video of Onaiyekan did not soften it either. The issue either. He described the atmosphere plainly. When a nation is bleeding, he said, you shouldn't expect a polite, comfortable meeting with the head of state. Now, here is where it gets interesting, because it wasn't a one-sided lecture. President Tinubu didn't just brush the bishops off. He pushed back with his own case. Let's take a look. He told them directly that he inherited what he called the assets and the liabilities of the last administration, and that under his watch, the economy has moved away from the edge of collapse. He pointed to programs like the Nigerian Education Loan Fund as proof the government is investing in ordinary families, especially students. His message, in essence, is that a turnaround is real, even if it doesn't feel finished yet. He also defended the INEC neutrality when the bishops raised concerns about the credibility of Nigeria's electoral system. So now we have two experienced, serious institutions. The Catholic Church, one of the most trusted voices in the country, and the sitting president, backed by his economic team, looking at the same Nigeria and reaching the opposite goal. Now, this isn't really about just a single meeting. It is about a bigger question a lot of Nigerians are asking quietly. Is anyone at all telling the president the truth? Watch this video. We'll come back for more. Onaiyekan actually raised this himself. He said one of the country's real problems is that too few people close to the power are willing to speak frankly to the president. That's a serious claim, because it suggests disagreement in that room wasn't really Bishop versus president. It was outside reality versus the inside information. Outside reality of the things happening in the country and the information that is being fed to the CNC. Now think about who is in that room every day. His advisors, his ministers, his aides. If the version of Nigeria reaching the president's desk is filtered, polished, and optimistic, then the economy is doing fine. There might be an honest reflection of what is being told, and not that it's really denying what is happening on the ground. And on the other hand, the bishops are not random pressure group. They run schools, they have hospitals, and they have parishes in every state. They have communities far from Abuja's number power. So when they say people are suffering, that is not just a talking point. That's what is showing up at their doorstep. Now, here is the bubble question. Who is actually whispering in the ears of the president? Onaiyekan's warning about people being afraid to speak frankly to the president isn't just a theory. We have actually seen it play out in public from the mouth of the president's own aides. Watch this interview. Now, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Onaiyekan, went on Arise television and made a claim that a lot of Nigerians cannot believe it, that triggered social media. He said he personally doesn't see the level of hunger people talk about. And to explain why, he pointed to the people who work for him, his domestic staff at home. He said he regularly asks them how they are doing, how they are adjusting, what problems they are facing. And based on those conversations, the hardship being described in public debate doesn't match what he's hearing. Now sit with that for a second. A senior aide to the president, someone whose job is partly to help to shape how the president understands the country, was using his own domestic staff as a barometer for how over 200 million Nigerians are doing. Now think about the power drum dynamic in that relationship. If you work directly in someone's home and that someone is a powerful presidential aide, how honest are you really going to be when your organ asks you, how are things? Are you going to describe skipping meals? Are you going to say, sir, we are managing? That's not necessarily dishonest. It's just how people power works everywhere. People soften bad news for the person who signs their. Now, this is exactly the mechanism Onaiyekan was talking about, just on a smaller scale. If a single aide can convince himself that hardship is exaggerated based on conversations with people who have every incentive to downplay their struggles, imagine that same dynamic multiplied across every advisor of the president, his ministers, and the civil servants who sit with the president and briefs him. They multiply the subtle truth enough times by enough people, and by the time it reaches the village, things are hard can genuinely arrive on the president's task as the economy is doing fair. It's worth saying this isn't a Tinubu specific problem. Every powerful person in every country deals with this. The people closest to power often see the most polished version of reality because everyone around them has a reason to make sure they do. But that's exactly why an outside voice like the Catholic bishop, Catholic Church matters so much. The bishops are not on their president's payroll, so they don't need the state house approval. They don't need this. They need to clap on time with him. When they say Nigeria is bleeding, there is no incentive for them to soften it, which is part of why Onaiyekan's account goes through in a way that a minister's talking point never. Now, here is what I think. See, macroeconomic indicators, inflation trends, reserves, exchange rate stability can be moving in a direction the government will call recovery. At the exact same time, the life experience of a trader in Onitsha or a civil servant in a lorry can still feel like collapsing because recovery on a graph does not automatically mean relief in a market. That gap between the numbers in Abuja and the reality in the streets is where most of Nigeria's political frustration actually lives. It is not new, it's not unique, it's not about this administration, but it's rarely said this plainly by a voice as respected as Onaiyekan on national TV and rarely admitted this openly by name, even unintentionally describing his rules of his own household as his measure of the nation's suffering. So then maybe the real story here isn't just who is lying or who is saying the truth. Maybe it's that Nigerian leadership, not just this administration, but that structure of power itself has a built-in problem. And maybe we should update the country a favor by calling it out. That's just my take. But you know, in this channel, it's all about, it's not about my opinion, it's about yours. So let me hear what you have to say in comment section. If the people closest to the president have every reason to hide the truth from him, can we really blame him for saying the economy is fine? Or is that excuse getting old? Say it below. I am waiting every